Hey, man. Sorry about getting us kicked out today.
Why? Why did you do that?
Well, I had my tarp off, and I just thought that was the next logical thing to go.
To be completely naked?
No, I had my shoes on.
That's worse!
Do you think they meant it when they said we can't come back?
Yes, Matthew, yes, I do.
I don't get it. Drew Gilbert is out humping everything and nothing, and I get permanently banned for going full Monty? I mean, Robbie Ray leaves less to the imagination when he pitches.
But he remains fully clothed. Also, arguably more importantly, I don't think Will is ever going to talk to us again. You just lost half our listeners.
At least we still have Bob. Hit it, Bob.
Welcome to Giant Cocktails, where the humor is elite, but the baseball sucks. Oh yeah, here are your hosts, Ben and Matthew Henry.
Welcome to episode 370 of Giant Cocktails. Matthew, I think it would have been fine if you had just been Donald Ducking it.
Sure.
No, that still would have been bad. That would have been awful.
Winnie the Poohing it, Donald Ducking it. There's a whole bunch of them. Could have.
Yeah, well. Anyway, Felix Rodriguez appeared in 370 games during his 5+ years as a San Francisco Giant. Felix had his best season in 2001, where he appeared in 80 games with a 1.68 ERA, a 0.99 WHIP, and a 2.37 ERA plus, and finished 20th in MVP voting that year. That's pretty good.
Bet we could use old Felix right about now, huh?
Yeah, it's no lucky Bo Rucky. Yeah, Felix could be absolutely filthy. We could use a little bit of that now. If he was still around, Buster would trade him, though. So, it's like if we had him, he wouldn't be here for very long. You know what I mean?
Sadly, yes.
Enough with the banter. Let's talk cocktails.
Let's do it, Bob. Hit me.
What are you drinking, Ben?
Well, thank you for asking, Bob. That's very kind of you. Bob, right now, I am drinking Pedialyte. Why? Well, for reasons, Bob. Part of which is I already had 4 cocktails today before we even got into the closets. So I'm choosing to practice restraint and be a responsible drinker and not partake of a cocktail. Why? Because Matthew and I went to the baseball game today. And even though the Giants got swept, Matthew and I were totally prepared for that to happen. So it was not as emotionally draining as it might have otherwise been, even though as we were walking away, I yelled out the F word 3 times. True story. But nonetheless, Bob, we got inside the Gotham Club, and there I had a cocktail called Karl the Fog Negroni? What's that?
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, that's what it was called. That is what it was called. And I know what you're thinking, folks. Ben ordered a Negroni? Yes, I did. Because listener and friend Will tricked me into it.
He's like, well, I think you'll like this Negroni. That's what he said.
Yeah,
so we all ordered one together.
Yeah. And you know what, folks? It was good. Now, here's what I would say. I appreciated it. I'm not going to say that I loved it, but I will say this. I won't tell you what's in it until the end of the episode, but it did lack my least favorite liqueur, Campari. And that made all the difference. And that's what I'm drinking today, Bob. Pedialyte.
What are you drinking, Matthew?
Bob, like Ben, I had 4 cocktails earlier. I could have mailed it in like Ben and, just talked about one of the ones we had today, but I'm not doing that. I'm doing a low ABV cocktail because, 4 cocktails earlier that I'm calling Low Expectations. And I'll tell you all about it at the end of the episode.
Why did you call it Low Expectations, Matthew?
Because that's about where I am with the Giants right now.
Yeah.
And it's got a low ABV cocktail. So just they kind of tie together.
I see. It ties together. It's when two things come together.
Kismet.
I was going to call it a conundrum.
Okay.
But Kismet is probably better because I don't even think that's what conundrum means. A mental note to self, Ben, when you're editing this podcast, look up the word conundrum. Anyway, today is Wednesday, May 27th, as we record this podcast. The team known as the San Francisco Giants went 0-3 against the Arizona douchebags. And those douchebags made me say that for the second week in a row. The San Francisco Giants got swept twice by the dbags in the last 9 games, and even though they won the series against the White Sox in between, that means over the last 9 games, the Giants have been 2-7, bringing their overall record to 22-34. That is 10 games under homeostasis and 12 games under 500. The Giants are making the word homeostasis not be relevant and fun anymore.
So far below homeostasis. And, I was just thinking how in years past we were talking about if we went how many times we played each team, 13 or 14 times, something like that.
Something like that.
If you went 14-0 against the Rockies and then 500 against everyone else, you'd have a good year.
Yeah.
Other teams are saying that about the Giants right now, aren't they?
That's right. Yes. Yes, because the Giants are the 3rd worst team in the National League. I think they are.
They are the 2nd worst team in the National
Sorry.
League.
Yeah, I can't just say that. I'm so used to the Giants being like firmly established in middle place that I can confidently know that there's a few teams that are just worse than them. But no, the Giants are fighting it all out with the Mets, which is pretty funny, and the Rockies.
At least we're not the Rockies.
Well, you say that now, Bob. You say that now, but here's what Buster Posey has wrought, Bob. The Rockies are coming into town. No, sorry. The Giants are going to Denver. That's even worse, although the Giants have played pretty well in Denver the last few years. But, I'm not going to...
Can't count on that this year, man.
No. The Giants are going into Colorado. 2 games ahead of the Rockies. If the Giants get swept in this series, they will fall behind the Rockies to take last place in the NL West at the hands of the Rockies. That is where we are. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen, and I'm not guaranteeing that's going to happen. I'm not even necessarily think that it will happen. But the Giants have been swept a lot this year. I'll just say that. But it's possible. 5 times? Is that 5 times? Trigger warning. Here's what I'm going to do, folks. I'm going to edit out the part that came before this, but I'm not going to edit out the part where I first said trigger warning. Anyway, trigger warning, there are no triggers in the rest of this episode unless you have a problem with drinking. In which case, Matthew is the trigger warning. I'm drinking Pedialyte. Anyway, the point is that the Rockies could sweep us and we could be in last place in all of National League. And it's all Buster Posey's fault. God, you're right. They're a game behind the Mets. Ugh. The last time the Giants were 12 games under 500, Matthew, was June 29th, 2019. 7 years ago. It was the low point of the 2019 season, which means that this year could be much, much worse. In 2018, the Giants finished 16 games under 500.
Some just knowledge to drop on you about how bad the Giants are.
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of where we're at right now.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, that's not bad. That's not bad. I was actually thinking that we should do some predictions in the second segment of the show. So maybe we should talk about what we're going to talk about.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah. All right. So segment number 1, we are going to talk about the D-Bag series. Not at great length, but we're going to cover it just because that's what we do. Will tried to talk us out of it today, but Will, that's just not how we roll. Listen, Buster dug a hole. He filled it with water, and now there's a muddy pit. We must wallow in it. So wallow we will. Ooh, Bob, write that down. Wallow we will.
Buster's drunk.
He probably is drunk right now. Yeah. That guy's he's probably drunk on wine. Probably white wine. No offense to the white wine drinkers.
He'd get drunk on a low expectations, that's for sure.
All right. And then after that, folks, we're going to move to our second segment of the show. We like to call it Segment 2. Segment 2 today is going to be, well, it's time for the 2-month review. The Giants have played 56 games. They played their 54th game on Monday, which means they have finished their second month of baseball, because a baseball month equals 27 games. They finished that second month with a loss to the D-Bags, and then they started the third month with 2 losses to the D-Bags, because this is the 2026 Giants. We're going to review the second month. We're going to wallow in all of the stats and statistics. Maybe we'll hand out awards. Maybe we'll make some predictions. Maybe I'll remember all of that because I won't be drunk at that part of the show for once.
Maybe.
I guess you'll all have to wait and find out. But first, we got some tidbits to go over. How do you want to do these, Matthew? I really want to do number 2.
Okay. Well, I'll just mention number 1 then.
Okay.
Ben, Grant Brisbee, I gotta put it out there, who is always fun read over on The Athletic. He has had enough of the Giants. The hip thrusting broke Grant Brisbee.
Oh, the hip thrusting. Drew Gilbert. You know, Drew Gilbert, I'm sure that's not the first person Drew Gilbert has broken in his life.
It's right.
I'm thinking he's got a long trail of English teachers and substitute teachers in his path behind him.
Absolutely. But Brisbee wrote an article that basically said you shouldn't be doing hip thrusts if you're not winning. And
to be fair, Matthew, they only do the hip thrusts after a win.
Yeah. I think he was like, oh, you're getting all this national media. People are going to start looking up, oh, how are the Giants doing? And then they're going to see how the Giants are doing. And they're like, why are we paying attention to the Giants? And that got me thinking, though, like, is bad plus boring better than bad plus fun? Like, and we were out we were out with the common folk today.
The riffraff is what I like to call them, Matthew.
Yeah, there was a lot of beer going on in our section. That's for sure.
There was a lot of it was giant beers out there.
But there was a nice couple next to us that was not drinking. They were an older couple from Sacramento, big Giants fans, and she was not buying any of the hip thrusting stuff. And so there is a segment of fan out there that is like, this is not for the kids and all that. And I would argue that the kids think it's pretty funny. So I don't understand like why that's such a bad thing. It's like they was, when Elvis was doing his hip thrust back in like the 50s and people were like, oh my God, it's the devil. I think we've moved beyond that at this point.
I think it's just sophomoric.
Absolutely.
It's baseball humor.
And at this point, because the Giants are so bad, give me a little fun. Give me a little something to laugh at.
Well, it's clear that you like that sort of humor. That's why your tarp's off and Donald ducking it, and you made that whole weird nipple remark last episode. We're going to have to pay Bob to come up with a word to cover over the word nipples now.
No, we're not, because you're the one that keeps saying it. If you just stop saying it, we don't have to do that.
I don't understand. Like, you're the one who said nipples.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, maybe also we need to find a new word for testicles, because I'm cold.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Bob, work on some T words for testicles also. Thank you. All right. Tidbit number 2. Matt Chapman is on pace to hit 3 home runs. Tidbit number 4. We got a lot of comments and we haven't caught up on them. So we're going to do a speed round right now on all of the comments that we got across Spotify, YouTube, and then we got one new review. Okay, a couple of weeks ago, Morgan said that he came up with a new nickname for the Sackletics, which I don't like. I prefer vagabonds. So Morgan has suggested vagabundos. How do you feel about vagabundos, Matthew?
I feel like it could work. I feel like it's trying to be more inclusive of our Spanish-speaking friends.
There you go. The poor...
We got the gigantes on our chest, and they could have the vagabundos on their chest.
Yeah, I do like the name. Also, Troy from Spotify, he said this. We didn't correct ourselves when we messed up the rotation. And Troy, sir, we didn't mess up the rotation. Buster messed up the rotation.
Also, if we happen to get who was pitching wrong, may I point out that we're drunk half the time?
Oh, it's more than half the time. It's more than half the time. So, yeah, any mistakes we make on the show, I mean, it's the format of the show. You know, it's the format of the show. Sometimes we catch them, but only when we listen back to it later. Also, Scott, you know, the take a picture guy.
Yeah.
He said that I should adopt the darn cat, you idiot. Now, that's not how Scott said it, because Scott doesn't talk that way. But that's how I heard it when I read it. And he wrote that 4 weeks ago when I first found Guy. So Scott knew before I knew.
We all knew, Ben.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Fine. You all knew. Fine. Whatever. Fine. Fine. I got the cat. Okay, fine.
And you named it after 3 home run Chapman.
Whatever. It was my daughter's choice. It was a good choice. All right.
It's a good name. It's a good name.
2 months ago, Roger from jolly old England. Top of the morning to you laddies in England. Is that? No, that's Irish.
You're going to start like a cultural war here against us here, man. Just
No, what I'm trying to do be as arrogant American who's uncultured. That's what I'm going for.
Success.
Okay, cool. Yeah. All right. Yeah, sweet. Hi, Roger. I'm sorry that it took us this long to reply to your comment. You seem so chipper and happy when you wrote that comment. I'm so sorry what has happened since. Oh, Matthew, we got a new review.
Oh, yes, we did, didn't we?
Matthew, we got a new review from one Roy L. Shaft.
You see, this cat Shaft is a bad mother.
Shut your mouth.
What I'm talking about, Shaft?
Yeah, we can dig it.
But I'm talking about Shaft.
Well, then we can dig it.
The title of his review was Always 5 Stars. Giants really are bad, but you guys are okay.
You know what's great about that? It's a 3-star review wrapped into a 5-star review.
That's right. Because he knows that what Bob says is it's not positive unless it's 5 stars positive. So if it's 3 stars is positive, so you got to make it a 5. And I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Respect to Shaft. Absolutely.
Yeah,
He's a bad mofo.
That's right. What else? Oh. This is kind of a downer, but like I just wanted to mention it. I'm a closet NASCAR fan. And I wanted to mention this in the last episode, but just didn't find a place to do it, so I'm putting it here in the tidbits. I just wanted to say rest in peace to one of my most favorite NASCAR drivers, Kyle Busch. Man, you were a maniac. I can't believe you're gone. That really sucks, dude. And then I guess on a more happy note, Matthew, our last tidbit, finally, I also forgot to mention this during the White Sox series. I was telling this about Will that we couldn't mention it, and he was like, why not? And I'm like, yeah, why not? It's my show. And I'm editing this episode, and I'm hosting it, so I can say whatever I want.
Say what you want, Ben. Go for it.
So in the fifth inning of that game where Bader hit the grand slam because that guy Vargas dropped the ball twice, because he wasn't wearing sunglasses, everybody was talking about how he came back out in the sixth inning wearing sunglasses, which he did, and it was funny because my kid and I were watching that live, and I said to them, watch, he's going to come out that in the next inning, that young man's going to come out wearing his sunglasses, and he did. But here's the thing: I was watching the game back later. He was wearing sunglasses in the fourth inning. That man only didn't wear sunglasses in 1/2 inning, and it was the fifth, and it bit him hard. And I just, it was so good. It was so good.
That guy's going to be wearing sunglasses in the rain from now on. He's never taken them off.
And of course, on the White Sox broadcast, they didn't talk about it at all because they never mention any bad thing their players do. Not ever. They are the most homer announcers, and I don't like it. So I'm glad that happened to them. Anyway, all right, Matthew, now we have to talk about the douchebag series. We're going to speed run this one.
Let's do that because I don't really want to put a lot of energy into this.
All right. Okay. So all I have is I'm not even going to talk about the games individually, but here's a couple of takeaways. First of all, I feel like the Giants played better baseball in this series than they did in the previous series against the douchebags. But they still got swept.
Let's throw a party. Woo!
Yeah, well, but they still got swept.
Right.
And while Will thinks that's a good thing, I think it's a bad thing because they played better baseball and they got swept because they're bad. Even when bad baseball teams play as good as they can, they still lose more often than not. And that's
you say that they played better baseball overall, but they had an error in each game. They gave up 2 unearned runs on Monday and an unearned run each on Tuesday and Wednesday. You're giving away runs. I don't feel like that's better overall baseball.
And Matthew has introduced us to the segment of this segment that I call, well, that sucked.
Well, I thought we were going to make this fast.
Well, we are making it fast, but you're just doing it wrong.
Well, you got a section called, well, that sucked. I mean, we could be here all day.
Fair point. I didn't mean that we put everything in here that sucked.
Okay. All right. Give me a few then, and I'll just sit back and listen.
So, for example, no, you're right. They gave up an error in every game, leading to 4 unearned runs, including 2 to your most favorite pitcher.
Roop! I'm doing a short version today.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Another thing that sucked is Willy Adames got thrown out at home when Hector Borg gave him the go sign, which was the right thing to do. It was the right thing to do. It was the right call, Hector. Don't let that dissuade you. Hector. It was the right call. It just was the wrong outcome. But yeah, that sucked. And it really sucked because on the immediate next play, Luis Arraez, who was on second after hitting the ball in which Adames got thrown out, got picked off of second. That was like just such a 2026 moment. Those two events following in sequence. Right.
And the thing was about that is that there's 2 outs in the inning. And you don't need to have a huge lead when there's 2 outs because you're running on contact.
Right.
You're not trying to steal third base in that situation because it doesn't really give you a whole big advantage to get to third. I just those are examples of the Giants just continuously shooting themselves in the friggin' foot.
Agreed. And on that note, another takeaway was Tony still doesn't know how to use his pitching staff. In Sunday's game, Trevor got into a little bit of trouble in the 6th inning. The D-bags came back and tied it. His pitch count was still relatively low, though, so Tony decided to send him back out for the 7th.
And it's the second game in a row that he's done that.
Yeah,
It's the exact same instance where McDonald struggled a little bit in the previous inning, but his pitch count was like in the 80s, and they're like, oh, let's just throw them back out there again. And you just like, you could sense it. You could sense that this was he was done.
Yeah. And it's like, sometimes you go by the numbers, sometimes you got to watch the game. Like, this was a watch the game moment. And it's like he's already done your bullpen a solid by going 6. And he got into trouble in the last time, so let's not push our luck. And he totally pushed our luck. He brought Gage into a situation that sucked. Gage missed the ground ball, and then, that's it. A run ends up scoring.
Well, and you say that they have tomorrow off. So every reliever who hasn't pitched yet was available, maybe outside of Borucki. And why are we saving your bullpen when you have an off day tomorrow? Those are all things that just shouldn't be. I
don't think he was saving his bullpen. I don't think that was why he was doing it.
He doesn't have trust in his bullpen. Is probably the real reason. So he wanted to bring out McDonald to try and get one more inning out of him. I don't understand.
I don't know why he did it. I don't even want to give him credit for that. I don't think he knows why he did it. That's what I think. I think that they have no idea what they're doing. There was an interview on Giants Talk just about how Manassian was talking about, are we going to establish roles in the bullpen? And the answer that came out of Manassian was just sort of no, we haven't done that yet. And, we want to, but we haven't done that yet. And maybe that'll get solidified soon. Whatever. It's not that hard to just say, this is the guy's role and use them that way. So, I don't think they know what the hell they're doing. Anyway, the point is, we're moving on to the next point. This bullpen is stretched very thin, and it's about to tear. The fact that Borucki pitched 2 innings in a game that the Giants still could have come back in on Tuesday? I don't know, man. Maybe availability said that was the right thing to do. I don't know. But it just shows how thin this bullpen is. What was a questionable roster at the beginning of the season, they kind of got by with it for about a month and a half, and then for the last 2 weeks, it's not working anymore. So this bullpen is about to break down. All right, my last takeaway. Well, my second to last takeaway. There's a mystery note here, but my second to last takeaway, Matthew, is that the Giants hitters still suck. So I'm just going to go through every hitter who had an appearance in the game, Matthew, and just quickly talk about them. It's going to be fast.
Okay.
All right. So Willie, I used to be good. Adames, 5 for 12, trying to act like he is good again. Luis, soon to be future former Giant, Arise, 5 for 9.
Are all of them going to have nicknames?
Yeah. Yes, they all have nicknames.
Okay.
I've given all the Giants nicknames, in case you didn't know. In case you didn't notice. 5 for 9, so that's typical Luis Arise. Casey won't be an all-star. Schmidt was 3 for 13, but he did have one of the 3 home runs for the Giants. Rafael, I used to be good. Devers, 2 for 11, 3 strikeouts, but he did have 3 RBIs. What?
Wasn't Willie Adames' nickname I used to be good?
Yeah, it's baseball, Matthew. They just have 3 or 4 nicknames, and just everybody, they just keep reusing them. They keep reusing them. Did you know that Brandon Belt was not the first baby giraffe? I don't even think he was the second.
Really?
Yeah, crazy. Look it up on Baseball Reference. We got to move on. Matt, 3 homers. Chapman, 0 for 9 with 1 run, 3 walks, and a strikeout.
Matt Chapman only has 1 home run, though.
Yes, Matthew, but earlier in the thing, I said he was on pace to hit 3 home runs, and in comedy, that's called a callback.
Okay.
So
you're just giving him the credit, though. There's no guarantee that he's going to end up with 3 homers.
God, I want to argue with you, but you make a logical sound point. But he's still 3 homers, Chapman.
Okay.
All right, Daniel Sadsack Susac, 0 for 7. Bryce, the Eldridge Knight, because he doesn't get a mean nickname, because he's the Eldridge Knight. 1 for 8, 2 strikeouts. Moving on. Harrison, I'm still Harrison Bader, 0 for 8, 4 strikeouts. Drew Hip Thrust Gilbert, 2 for 7, 1 strikeout. Jesus, my mom says I'm fast Rodriguez, 0 for 3, but no strikeout. Will, how am I still up here? Brennan, 0 for 3, 1 strikeout. Eric, not worthy of a nickname, Haas, 2 for 4 with a homer. And Victor, I got my first hit, Barry Cotto, 1 for 2 with a strikeout. Congrats, Victor.
Ben, there are 4 players with the nickname Baby Giraffe.
I told you.
The Giants got rid of one and then brought in one. Brendan Belt left in 2022, and Sean Manea, a.k.a. Baby Giraffe, came in 2023. I did not know that Sean Manea was a Baby Giraffe. I would have. We probably should have mentioned that when we were podcasting about it.
We probably should have. Baseball players are not. You know what? I don't want to despair. I mean, let's just. Have you seen the Giants' outfield celebrations, Matthew?
Yes, I might have caught it a couple of times.
Yeah. Yep. Anyway, I wrote here, Ketel Marte is a
Fire truck.
asshole, and I don't give a
Fire truck.
what he did during the series. All right, Matthew, it's time for the 2-month review.
All right.
Take it away.
I mean, I don't even know where to start. I guess we could start with wins.
Did they win? They won some games.
They won 22, which sounds like a lot if you're talking about 33 games.
Yeah, I want to make clear, everybody, this is a 2-month review. So Matthew is saying in 2 months they won 22 games, not in the last month.
Correct.
That would
year to date, 22 wins, which is tied for 28th worst or 26th best if you're an optimist, I guess. There's only a couple teams with worse records than the Giants is what I'm trying to say.
That's not even an optimist wouldn't say that.
Their negative 54 run differential is 3rd worst in the majors. Only the Angels and Rockies are worse.
That's better than their record. That's an improvement. I like what the trend here.
Okay. They're bad both home and away. They're 12 and 16 at home, 10 and 18 away.
I will note here, not either one of those is at homeostasis. Come on, guys.
I will say, I did notice that the Giants have played the most games versus teams over 500 than any other team in baseball, with 43. They played 43 games against teams that are over 500. The dbags, by comparison, have played 24.
I wonder if that stat is based on their record after playing the Giants or before. Because
that's
if
a good question. I'm not
after
clear.
Playing the Giants, one of the things going for those other teams is that they're playing the Giants.
There's a lot of other stats that we could throw out there that are just point to them being bad. There's not one that points to them being good. They're 24th most strikeouts. They're last in walks. They're last in stolen bases, although we saw 2 today.
We almost saw a record-breaking game today. If the Giants had stolen another base, we would have been at the game where the Giants set the 2026 team record with 3. But that didn't happen.
They're next to last in getting caught stealing. But that's kind of like the whole Victor Borg can't get caught if you don't try to steal kind of thing, right?
Exactly. Can't get thrown out at home if you're standing on third. Can't get caught stealing if you don't try to steal. And that's the motto for life, kids. Don't shoplift.
They're 28th in OPS. Moving over to the pitching side, they have the 26th worst ERA for their starting staff with a 4.78 ERA. Giants pitchers have allowed the 6th most walks with 213, which equals 3.8 per game. The Giants are 24th in the league in strikeouts. So they don't strike out a lot, but they walk a lot of people. Bright spots, though, Ben.
Wait, Giants are 24th in the league in strikeouts?
The Giants pitchers are 24th in the league.
Come on. God. Could you put that in the notes?
Doing it right now. All right, you ready? Is that good?
I thought that was a...
Ben, there's nothing to celebrate here. Okay, I don't know why you think you were going to celebrate something.
Why is the next section called Bright Spots then?
Because I tried to think of something.
Okay, all right.
So,
I just
bright spots. Casey Schmidt.
Yeah, okay, good.
On pace for 36 home runs.
That's crazy. I did that math today. I was like, Casey Schmidt's 12 home runs. What's 12 times 3? It's 36. Casey Schmidt, 36 home runs? Man,
I would have been happy with 20.
Well, I mean, he hasn't done it yet. Here we are giving him those 24 extra home runs.
This
just like
is true.
we gave them to Chapman. We gave Chapman those 2 home runs, so we can give Casey Schmidt his 24. And that's the difference between Mr. Catch the effing ball and the guy he was yelling at. Okay, so that was the first bright spot, Casey Schmidt, and you haven't. Come on, dude.
There's no other bright spot.
Come
it's
on,
a short list,
dude.
man. I mean, I guess you could say Luis Ariz, but he's going to be gone in the next month. So
yeah, and he's going to take Casey Schmidt's All-Star spot. Like, Luis Ariz is going to make the All-Star team. He's going to play in the All-Star game. Then Buster's going to trade him, and then our only All-Star is no longer going to be on the team. Casey Schmidt won't make the All-Star game. This means Buster has to trade Ariz before All-Star selections. Or before that All-Star game. Because if Ariz gets moved before the game, the Giants still have to have a player. And it's not Ariz anymore.
yeah,
At least I think that's how it should be. That's how it should be.
that's how it should be. I would be surprised if the Giants get the shaft on that one.
Yeah. Shaft.
He's a bad mother. Shut your mouth.
But I'm talking about Shaft.
Did you want to finish this up with the manager, Ben?
Oh, yeah. After the first month, I think we were kind of nice to him just because it was his first month and he was getting his feet wet. My analysis after 2 months of watching Tony Vitello is, turns out experience matters. I was wrong. Everyone else was right.
Well, I think we like to think of, there was a lot of discussion about how he's a leader of men and, all that. And he might be. He might be a really great leader. He's hasn't proven to be very good at the old managing the game part.
Strategist?
Correct.
Tactician?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Agreed. I mean, it really hit home last episode when I said that you and I have probably seen more Major League Baseball games than he has. That was really...
that one didn't seem to fair, but it's also probably true. Yeah, that's...
Well, I mean, not fair. I get it. I'm not a professional baseball person. Point there isn't how many games I've seen. The point is how many games he hasn't seen.
Yeah, absolutely. And it shows, right? He doesn't know how Major League Baseball kind of operates, and it's showing in a lot of different times. So there's going to be learning curves. We knew that. We were told that, but the learning curves have been steep and often. And it's...
Yeah. Well, and unfortunately magnified by...
100%. 100%. Yes.
By Chapman, Devers, and Adames. However, I will also say this, going back to what we talked about last episode, which is... when you're a guy coming out of college baseball, how do you go into an organization and tell Matt Chapman, Willie Adames, and Rafael Devers how to be better?
You don't.
Yeah, and also, like, I don't even know that he's aware of all the tools that he could possibly have at his disposal to find those things, to figure those things out. And I'm not sure that there's a lot of experience in the Giants organization overall that knows how to do those things. So, like, this is an organization that is extremely lacking in experience. And yeah, you can point your fingers at all of their advisors, but there's a reason they have all of those advisors. Because they need them. Dusty, Bochy, those guys aren't, Ron Wotus, except for 4 games, those guys aren't in the dugout and they're not in the clubhouse. So they're like not really making a difference. And the fact that you have them and you talk about them and you feel like you need them is an indication that you are very light on experience. I think in retrospect, the idea that this team was going to be a playoff contender was probably overly optimistic. Not probably, definitely was, obviously. And that's how I feel about 2 months in, Matthew. But the baseball keeps on happening, Matthew.
Comes at you fast and furious.
This time against the Colorado Rockies. Finally, an equal opponent. This is where we return to mediocrity. I'm predicting a split, Matthew. The question is, who will come out on top in the Rocky Mountain battle?
How could you split a 3-game series?
Well, what I'm saying is it's not going to be a sweep. It's like a split decision in boxing, dude.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like a banana split, dude. Oh, no, you're right, because you split the banana exactly halfway. Yeah. Okay. I see it. Ooh, we got Logan Webb going, and they could have brought him back early, but they decided to have him go against the Rockies because they really want to win one of those games. So we got Logan Webb coming back probably on Friday.
Yep.
And then against Michael Lorenzen. Wow. We got Hauser D's Nuts against Ryan Feltner. And Robbie Ray against Kyle Freeland. God, is Kyle Freeland? How old is that dude? God. He feels like he's been around forever.
Well, yeah. I mean, Colorado's where old players go to die, man.
But he's been there his whole life, I feel like. I'm pretty sure he was there with Andres Galarraga and the Bank Street Bombers. I'm pretty sure Kyle Freeland was pitching for them.
You know, maybe that's true. That could be true.
Well,
he has played 10 years for the Colorado Rockies.
Okay, that explains it. My memory only goes back 7 years. So that's why he has been there forever, as far as I'm concerned.
And just eats it for them. Like he's 66 and 96 in his career. All for the Rockies.
Because he's played for the last 10 years with the Rockies.
He has lost double digits in those 10 years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times in 10 years. He's lost double-digit games. He's on pace to do it again this year. Last year, he led the league in losses with 17. 2018, Ben, he was really good.
Oh. And they must have, extended him?
He was 17-7. He had a Cy Young. He was 4th in the Cy Young voting that year.
Yeah.
And they must have, right? They must have written his name in blood or something.
Somewhere. They must have. Hey, let's do a whole big segment right now on Kyle Freeland.
Isn't it time for the booze, boys?
Yes, Bob, you're right. Okay, yeah, no Kyle Freeland segment. Yeah, hit me, Bob.
What are you drinking, Ben?
Well, thank you for asking, Bob. That's very kind of you. As I said at the beginning of the show, Bob, I'm drinking Pedialyte. But the cocktail I'm presenting today, Bob, is called Karl the Fog Negroni. And what is in a Karl the Fog Negroni, Bob? Well, it doesn't have Campari. And that makes all the difference.
Woohoo!
I wouldn't call anything a Negroni if it wasn't a perfect cocktail. So I'm going to assume that all of these come in equal ratios. And the ingredients are smoked rosemary gin, Vermouth Bianco, and something that I'd never heard of called Bitter Bianco.
It's made by Luxardo, apparently.
It is, and that is the name that they gave it. And what is interesting about both Vermouth Bianco and Bitter Bianco is they're both clear. So this cocktail is perfectly clear, like a martini.
Kind of like a fog. Yeah.
And they added a cucumber slice as garnish, which was really a nice touch. It is a sophisticated cocktail. It is a classy cocktail. I wouldn't drink it all the time, but I didn't hate it. And I felt snootier, but in a good way. I was rich, but I was good rich. I wasn't evil rich.
That's a tasty cocktail.
It was very good, Bob.
It's one of those cocktails you drink with a pinky out. Yeah.
Exactly.
What are you drinking, Matthew?
Bob, after coming home from drinking with Ben and Will, decided that I would drink a low ABV cocktail. So I created this one. It's called Low Expectations. It's got 2 ounces of Cocchi Americano, 1 ounce of dry vermouth, a 1/4 ounce of lemon juice. I might have put a little bit more, so a 1/4 ounce to a 1/2 ounce, somewhere in there. And then 3 to 4 ounces of ginger beer and 2 dashes of Angostura bitters. So you just build all that into a highball with ice, pour it all in there, and then you're going to slowly mix it to incorporate and garnish it with a lemon twist. And you've got this low ABV, kind of light cocktail, a little bit on the bitter side, but very refreshing. So that's what I'm drinking, Bob. A Low Expectations.
That's a tasty cocktail.
It did in a pinch, for sure. And that's a wrap, folks. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back on Monday after we are swept by the Colorado Rockies. If you can't wait that long to complain about the Giants, feel free to reach out to us on the socials where you can find us in all the usual places under the name @Giant Cocktails. You can also find us on YouTube. So run over there, like, subscribe, and comment. But most importantly, be sure to leave us a positive review, like 5 stars positive, at your podcasting platform of choice, aka Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Ben, it was good talking Giants with you today. Until next time, cheers, my friend.
Cheers, Matthew. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye. Thanks, Will, for the Gotham Club.
Thanks for listening to the Giant Cocktails Podcast. The next round's on me.
Thought you were going to just let that Matt Chapman hit only 3 home runs thing hang out there, but we kept going back to it, so I feel good.
What? First of all, it would have been just fine if it just been by just a random tidbit. I think we should do more of that.
Just the random tidbit and then just move on.
Yeah,
no
just a random drive-by for this team.
Random tidbit. Drew Gilbert did 2 thrusts yesterday.
I would. Okay. I mean, is that not enough thrusts? Are you saying? You're saying, Drew, that was a deficiency of thrusts?
We would just move on. You would be left to wonder, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
We're not commentating on whether those 2 thrusts were enough or not. We're just giving the tidbit.
But I think Matt Chapman hitting 3 home runs for the entire season speaks for itself, whereas how many hip thrusts Drew doesn't. No, what that implies to me is you know what the right number of thrusts is, but I don't. But you're assuming that I should. And I'm telling you, I don't know. What is the right number, Matthew? Is it lower or higher?
Bet it's 3. 3 thrusts.
It's 3 thrusts? But that gets you the penalty.
But that's the conundrum.
Oh, I see. So that's...
Conundrum, a confusing and difficult problem or question.
Oh... That's nothing like a nexus.
No. There's an alternative one that's a question asked for amusement, typically one with a pun in its answer.
Whoa.
I did not know that. Nobody ever uses it in that context.
No, that sounds like a dying definition to me. I'm going to have to think about that one. Maybe present some conundrums on the show.
Please don't.
Maybe we'll pivot to conundrums and puns as the Giants plummet to ever further away from homeostasis.
As long as I can have my pants off, we're all good.
Oh, God. I forgot about that. It's the camera's top half only, so I can only...
Subscribe now because you'll forget when you're hungover.